Hello guys, welcome to Today's Point. We are in a mid of video lecture for Android application development. In this video lecture, we will be discussing about application development and the very first application that we develop, Hello World. As we have already seen the entire project structure, how it looks like and how it's and what it was all having in detail. Now let's quickly have a look for the Hello World application. So this is the projection that we were having. This is the app points to the main application. In the application, we are having the manifest file named as Android manifest.xml. Then we are having the Java folder. This Java folder is basically nothing but all our activities or all the Java classes that are performing our work or our main handling is done over there. So those components come in the main activity file. After this, we are having the RES folder. RES stands for the resources. What do you mean by resources? So what is the resource? Any component of an application which is kind of images or your layout folder, your strings, your values, all these things comes as a part of the resources. So what we have in resources, we are having the drawable folder. Drawable is if you want some image to be there in your application. You paste that image in the drawable folder and you're having that image. After that, the most important parameter also is the layout. Now what is the layout? Layout here means that the UI screen that you see, so all the UI or the entire application's UI is held under one folder. We have named that folder layout folder. So this layout folder is having all the XMLs that we would be using in our own application. So after this, we are having the MIP-map. So what is MIP-map? As we have already discussed also, MIP-map is the holder for all our icons that we have. So in this one, we would be having a distinct folder like the HDPI, the MDPI, the LSDPI and things like that. This is to identify the icon to be used based on the screen resolution size. After this, we are having the values. The values are something, some constants that you want to give, like say values are having colors, dimensions, strings, style. So what do you mean by color? Like say if I want to use white color in my application, in spite of writing the hexadecimal code again and again, I simply refer it with the color white. So I can use the white wherever I want to use using the notation @color/white. In a similar way, if I want to have a string, say click this button to continue to the next page. So I can have this text written in my string file. I can name this as button text. So whenever I'm calling that button text, that value automatically gets updated and it refers or calls that particular value. So in a similar way, we are having the dims folder or the dimensions. Dimensions are having the dimensions for the application, like how much padding you want to give or what is the margin. We can define them in one file and we can use in all the XMLs that we want to use. So this is just to simplify the work and add the modularity to our code. And then we are having the Gradle. Gradle is the way in which we compile the project. So it's kind of a platform wherein you tell all your jars and all those files over here. You mention the path and it automatically makes up the environment for you. So now let's look. So this is the activity file. If you go to the Java, you would be finding an activity file. This is the activity file. This file is actually compiled to the dialog executable and runs on your platform or runs on your phone. And this is what we see whenever we open the application. This is the holder or the launcher of the application. So how it launches? So whenever our activity gets started, in the start we are having an onCreate method. This method gets called, and this method actually launches this activity_main.xml. This activity_main.xml means that that this activity_main.xml is the UI file or the layout file that it's calling. So whatever file was there in my layout, I simply call that one over here, and I'm able to set the content view for the user in this particular view. So then is the most important one, the manifest file. This is a normal manifest file. It's having the details like what the application name, what is the icon it's using, what's the name of the activity, and along with the minimum SDK and then the version of the application. We need to worry about this one as you would be covering manifest in a separate session altogether. So after this is the one in which we are discussed that we are having some string file. So like we are having an app name and it's hello world. So wherever I am calling the word app name, the value that comes to me is the hello world. In a similar way, where I'm having menu settings, the value that comes to me is settings. So now if I change something in the settings, it will be automatically reflected across all the points where my menu settings is getting called. This is the advantage of having a standard, a standard or a separate resource file altogether. So after this is the part or the UI that we see for the application. This is under the layout folder, and this is generally with the by default name, or the name that is present is the activities from main.xml. Now this is a proper structure. It's a layout. Under layout we are having some views or some views like some text view or button, and we call this view to get the work done, or like this is now saying hello world. You can have a button to get some work done, or you can have a button to log in or sign up and stuff like that. So this is all comes as a part of the activity main. This is present under the layout directory in the res folder. Now after this, the component which is automatically generated, we call these files as auto-generated files. These files are having the IDs for all our resources. Like see, I had main and I made this one, activity underscore main. So this is the ID for the activity underscore main. Now whenever I'm referencing this ID, whenever I'm referencing this particular ID, I would be actually able to call this activity underscore main just by the ID itself, because the majority of the parameters, like the function set content view, they all need an integer ID to perform their action. So this is a kind of a self-generated file. It is recommended that we should not modify this file. If we modify, then it gets some error in the file. So now let's quickly launch our Android Studio and see the entire working of the hello world and how these all things look in the practical scenario. So hello guys, welcome back. As you've already seen about the Hello World application, now let's open up our Android Studio and fire up the application that you want to run. So here's my studio coming up. It opens up my studio. So it says the welcome to Studio app, the welcome to Android Studio. This is the dialog box that I get. From here I start up a new Android project. I name this project as Hello World Demo. I click on next. It says the minimum version. See, we need to discuss the minimum version. Now, what is the minimum version? The minimum version is defined like the version for which I want my application to run. We have a minimum version set, like say if I'm using 4.4, then these are the features. Here it is showing the features that are available, like you can read and write SMSs, and you can use NFC. Based on these features, we can add these features fine that we want to use, or else we want to use some other features. Like say this is the one, like if I want marshmallow, right? So these are the property, or these are the features that are available. Like fingerprint authentication comes as a part of marshmallow. So if I want my application to use fingerprint authentication, my application should run on marshmallow. So we define the minimum version on these basis. But if you're making a normal application and like it's having normal features, using the standard API is not very much advanced or high in nature, then using the version 4. Ice cream sandwich or jelly beans is quite recommended. Click on OK. After this you come to the next part. Here you choose that add an activity to your mobile. Like as we have discussed, that activity is a main Java file that launches or that starts itself. So I start with an empty activity and click on next. It's asking me to name an activity and the layout file. I keep the name as main activity and the layout file as activity underscore main. I click on finish. So it's making up my project. It's building and it's making up. And once you are here on the screen, once you're able to see this kind of screen, this is a screen which is having nothing as of now. On the left hand panel, I'm having a word as project. If I click on the project, I would be able to fire up my project structure. So here's my project structure that I'm having. So this project structure is having the following components. Under the app, it's having the manifest file as I've discussed. This is my manifest file. Then under this one, after this, it's having a Java folder. Java folder is having the main activity.java. This is the main file that is launched, and after this, the UI is set when we call the method set content view. After this, we go to the res folder. In the res folder, this is my layout and this is my activity underscore main. This is my main activity underscore main.xml. It is present under the layout folder. So this is the one which is actually having the UI, like this activity as of now is having a layout under it. It's having a text which is saying hello world. So now let's go to the other folders and explore what are they having for us. If you see at this one, this is having this is known as a MIP map and is having the IC launcher. IC launcher is the icon which you get when you click or when you launch your application, or like which you get in the app drawer basically. So and after this one, you are having all these icons. These icons are basically different for the different UIs, or for the different resolution of the screen. Basically, they are chosen based on the what is my screen intensity. So after this, I'm having the values. As I already told you, values are some components which are having some default values, and we want them to call, like for example here's the string.xml. If you look at it here, and this is having string named as app name, and the name of the app is hello world, right? Hello world demo. Let me add a new string over here. I add a string and I name the string as string underscore example. Now if I have to set some string, like this is a string, I say. Now the advantage of this having a string like that, say if my this edit text, if my this text view is having a string and I want it to call the string from my project, the one I added, you can avoid this one. Don't worry about this because this would be covered up when we are covering the next topics. Now see, this is automatically updated to this is a string. So if I make changes to this one, this particular text view will get automatically updated. This happens on across all the platforms and across all the options available in the values folder. See if I'm having a color, right? So this is my color. I can let me add a new color over here. Color. I name the color as red and I give it as, so this is the color, right? Now what happens is if I want my this text to be red in color, what do I do? I pass the color over here. So I choose the color and call it as red. See, now if I make changes, say if I make this color white, or I change the value of this color over here, I make it as 0000, it's black, right? Now, and if I'm using it over here, you see that that this color is automatically updated. So in spite of making changes to all the components individually, I only make change in one component and it's reflected across all the components available. So this is the advantage of having the values folder, and it's similar for across all the values. Like I'm having dimensions over here. I've given the dimension as activity underscore horizontal underscore margin. Actually, this is the as per the Android design guidelines. So if you are having a layout, you have to pass such padding or such dimensions. So I can easily pass this dimension. I pass this dimension over here. This is the one. See, now you are able to see that there's a gap between all the between all the sides because I have updated the padding itself, right? So now if I make changes into this dimension, I make it as 10 dp. See, the area got reduced, the extra area, the padding got reduced, right? So this is the advantage of having, dimensions, colors, values, the value folder entirely, right? So after this, we are having the manifest file. As I've already told you, the manifest file will be discussed in the separate lecture wherein we will be taking you through the entire manifest, how it works and what all components can there be in the manifest file. So now let's quickly run our application and see what it shows on my screen. So here's it, it's running and it's asking me, it's running on Moto G3. It's taking a while to run, guys. You have to be patient. You can also run this application on your own AVDs. Running on AVD is also fine, but it's a bit slower process, so that's why I run it on my phone. Yeah. So see, I'm able to have a text view which is showing the text like this is a string, and it's very well visible. It's black in color as the color has been set over in the colors.xml. The text is also coming from the string.xml. So guys, this was all about the Hello World. Stay tuned as we will be taking you through the entire Android application development to be precise in detail.